I got sound now? Jesus. Yo, welcome. What's up? Man, I hope my man comes back in the chat. It's the second time that happened. Yesterday, I did this in the morning. And there was no sound then, too, so I had to redo it. It caused my whole day to go into a downward motherfucking spiral. Just agitated. Now, I don't have enough time. This is what I get for not waking up in the mornings. I don't got enough time to fucking run a troubleshoot and hope for the best. So I'm really hoping this works. I mean, I can hear it in my headphones. If I move from the mic, I can't hear it. If I get close, I can hear it nice and good. It's moving. It says I'm live. What's up? Ah, man. Oh, that frustrates me. I was on a tangent too, but that's okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the, oh yeah, good to go, my dude. Thank you. So fucking round two, round two in the morning. This is the fucking Good Morning B. Hannas show. I'm B. Hannas, Nikki B. Hannas, Heavy Blues Metal. You just heard some off the iPhone. Let me hit a little more real quick just because I didn't do my 30-second shit. Yeah, anyway, you get the fucking point. NikkiBHannas.com, NikkiBHannas.bandcamp.com, Nikki B. Hannas on all streaming services. Got to get those plugs in, dude. This is the BS with B. Hannas show on YouTube, Spotify podcasts, Apple podcasts, etc. What was I talking about? I was talking about thinking globally versus thinking locally. I was talking with my homegirl last night. She signed up for like a big coaching program to get her brand and her music through to a different level. Because there's a big difference, at least in the music game. And I would think this would apply to all business on any level, whether your pursuits are, you can lift weight as a hobby or you can get into coaching and training. You can fucking play music as a hobby to go maybe play with some friends at parties and shit, or you can do it as a business oriented pursuit. And playing different games, you got to employ different strategies. It's very interesting to me, because a lot of this stuff, like, it's just getting on YouTube. It's like, what do you want to do? Be Joe Rogan? You pick up a guitar. It's like, what do you want to be? You want to be Eddie Van Halen? And then it's like, I was talking with her last night. It's almost thinking you start putting out content and playing the game a little bit, which I typically personally reject playing the game and just pumping out content to try and get likes and views and clicks. But that shit will get you motherfucking paid. Attention is a tremendous resource. You can convert that into real resources. But it's all very interesting because it got me thinking about my pursuits, right? Like, how do you respond to somebody kind of talking shit on like your pursuit? That'll say a lot about you. And that's a hard thing to kind of learn. And it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. I'm imagining signing up for a course like that, right? And then someone just says, oh, so what do you want to do? You want to be an influencer? And it's like, a lot of people I would have trouble. Part of me would have trouble saying, yeah, I do. Because it just puts you on the spot. It makes the perception of it's fucked up. And there's a constant metacognition. That's what I was talking about. I was thinking about thinking. That's what I was saying before I realized I had no sound. Thinking about that, that's part of the battles of self against self. Caring, to what extent does one care about how they're perceived? And there's scientific ways to break that down. If you are aware that you're not perceived very well, like people are looking at you sideways or looking at you funny. Part of us, I think, is evolutionarily, biologically wired to put us on edge. There's like a nervous system response there because now it could turn into life or death. But isn't it interesting when you're just trying to have a creative pursuit and say, if you got a message and you want to get it out there, you have to first wrestle with the perception of others on you putting your shit out there. Super interesting to me. And it got me thinking about what I do. Like, what's my audience? I guess I got to be aware of my audience. Currently, in the present tense, there ain't much of one. I got a few friends and, close people who know that I'm up to this and are doing this. And I'm certainly not pumping this out on my Instagram. I'm not telling people locally because I don't really have an interest in fucking propagating this message locally. And really, at the end of the day, what's my message, dude? My message would be get better every single day. Do what you can do to get better every single day. Because I've lived a lot of my life all fucked up, wasted my days. And, it didn't really get me anywhere. It got me into a place of just feeling very discontent, very agitated, very fucking, and I'm still shaking that off. And my character, for better or worse, my character is to be discontent and agitated and fucking kind of like ready to go. But it's a matter of what I do with that energy. Is it constructive energy or destructive energy? given myself and my proclivities, what I've proved to myself in the past. You know, construct something beautiful and go from there. There's a certain kind of redemption story in my life, in my story of my life that I tell myself. So this is all part of it, man. This is all part of it. But if I were to think of my audience like locally, who am I going to proselytize to? I mean, there's people in the gym that I see every day, not every day, but most days. We can chop it up about the gym, but most of the time get to talking to people in the gym, they're asking me about work. And then when I'm at work and I'm talking to people at work, I'd rather talk about the gym because, like, guys, we're in here together. We're slinging cheeseburgers. What are you doing? What are you up to, young frat bro? I got a bunch of young frat bros that work for me. It's like, what are you guys doing? You going out to the bar? You killing a 30 rack? Like, we can make Zen jokes and shit all day and have a good time. But it's like, yo, if there's something to be learned from my old head ass, get yourself right, dude. Don't fucking piss your shit away because it's just not good. And then if that's people I'm talking about at work, they'll ask me about fucking, how's the music going? And music's good, but I'm here right now. So it's interesting thinking about the audience, especially because it's like that's three of the realms in which I kind of work. My friends always know what's up. It's like, yo, what's up, Benny? How you been? I'm like, yeah, man, same shit. Hitting the gym, fucking going to work. Here we are. It's a Thursday night. We're playing Magic. Like, you guys know me, so there's not really continuous updates. You got any gigs coming up? Here and there. And it's interesting because I'm right now mostly interested in doing all the deep kind of work. Again, metacognition, thinking about thinking. I'm trying to change who I am into somebody else so I can get different results, which doesn't seem to have too much to do with the actual actions involved. Now, that sounds like bullshit, and it may be bullshit, but like, am I just going to frantically look for something else to do? Just find something else to do. This isn't working. Got to find something else. That doesn't make sense. That's the one book, Acres of Diamonds, where the guy's fucking got the property and hears that there's tremendous wealth under it, digs, can't find it, sells it for dog shit money. Someone else gets it, digs a little bit, boom, here they are, acres of diamonds. At what point does your return, when do you walk away from an endeavor? I don't know. The fucking wiser knowledge that I consume seems to say just keep fucking going, just keep fucking going. If you're in alignment with what you're doing, if you're fucking in tune with your purpose and there's something bigger calling you and you're up to something worth doing, man, just keep fucking going at it. And that has little to do with, oh, I got another gig. To me, at least. Oh, I made it to the gym today. You should just fucking be the kind of guy, my music, I'm more interested in writing and releasing. I want more of a portfolio behind me. I want like a fucking discography. I want you to be able to look my shit up, nickybhannas.com. And there's a bunch of music out there. And there is. And I got some stuff that's done. I got some stuff that's in the process of being mixed and mastered. I got more stuff written. I'm more interested in that typically in building than I am just going out and playing at the bars. But, that's just me. I also don't make any money off my music. So that's worth saying too. There's something else to be said about being a gigging musician who just plays music for money. Some motherfuckers really want that. And that's, I'm sure at some level that smokes. That beats the shit out of having to fucking get up and rush and go to work, sit in traffic to get paid by the hour. The dream is to synthesize all this stuff and be able to live where your life is your work, right? Is that what content creation is? Is that what the meta function of all of this shit is? That's kind of what it seems to be an influencer. Let's just call it, This is just my thinkings. The only people I really interact with are like my fucking close friends that I chill with, people I work with, people I see in the gym. I don't even see my family all like that. We talk, and that's mostly like, well, how you doing? I'm good, pops. I'm talking shit on the internet. You want to hear it? And they'll probably listen to it once or, occasionally, but then you got to retain listeners. And now we're in the business game. We're into the fucking getting the gears turning and getting eyes on. And realistically, I don't need every motherfucking person in the county listening to me in the morning. If you want to, shit, go ahead. But like, this ain't necessarily for you because you'd be coming in here with, oh, well, I remember when I seen this guy around coming in with these preconceived notions and shit. The real risk of it is like, the people out there, the proverbial people out there that I don't know you, you don't know me. So let's talk as equals. Let's not come into this with some bullshit. Let's not come into this with fucking a point you're already trying to prove because I ain't got no point I'm trying to prove. You kind of learn that in the AA rooms. I don't go to meetings super often, but I like to go to meetings every now and then as like a, it's good. It's being sober super important to me because being drunk fucking dictated my life for a long time against my wishes, and I would defend it and justify it and rationalize my way out of it, and then fucking it is what it is. It's gotten remarkably better since I quit that shit. Life has gotten a lot better since I quit drinking, quit fucking getting high, doing stupid shit. I still do some stupid shit, but that's more my own shortcomings. that's more me being a fucking, having to rewire myself and my habits and my thinkings and all that kind of shit, dude. Like in the one reading this morning, Norman Vincent Peale, you can if you think you can. He's talking about how being mentally sick or fucked up will somehow manifest itself physically. The example that I read this morning was that he was talking to someone in a church who she had an itch and she only itched when she went to church. I don't know. There's some kind of, his point was that there's something going on in the brain there that's coming out through whatever stimulus. I can't make sense of that necessarily, and it's hard to make sense of that. And I sound like a fucking kook talking like that in the age of science and trust the science and all that kind of stuff, But there's something to it. There's something to it. As a man thinketh, the garden of your mind, man, that will come out into your life. And they tell us that we don't have any fucking power as humans, that we're just dumb creatures that serve to consume, eat, sleep, work, tax cattle. There's a whole bunch of different angles you could fucking put on it. I don't want to get political in the mornings or nothing, but like, nah, humans are way bigger than that, dude. Humans are way bigger than that. Life is so much more important than that. If you can fucking get out of your own way and let life be a good thing. That's what I learned, at least. Anyway, I dropped my books. There were two pieces in my readings this morning that stuck out to me. First one there was one part of this from the John C. Maxwell Daily Reader. June 4th. Here it is. This is the part I liked. Make it part of your daily agenda to look for things going right. They don't have to be big things, though of course you want to praise those things as well. It can be almost anything, as long as you are sincere in your praise. Because we typically do just look for things to criticize. Motherfuckers love to criticize. Maybe this is just me projecting. I'm guilty of it for sure. But when I'm aware of it in a state of metacognition, thinking about how I'm thinking, it's much better to compliment and to pour into people than to fucking constantly throw stones at. That's just a life thing. And I'm surrounded by motherfuckers who only throw stones. So it puts me on the defensive constantly, which gives me an edge. Probably has something to do with my childhood or whatever. Motherfuckers don't spend 12 years drinking hard as shit, smoking weed, and doing dumb shit for no reason. Neither here nor there. Our job is to figure it out, fucking change the behavior, and get better. That's one of the readings. Ugh, my book's trapped. The other reading, here's my man, Vincent Norman Peale. Positive thinking every day. Because we got to think positive, even if fucking little girls look at you funny on your walk. That's okay. It's just death metal, girl. Don't worry about my t-shirt. Anyway, June 4th. The world in which you live is not primarily determined by outward conditions and circumstances, but by thoughts that habitually occupy your mind. Fucking A. That's true. All the great masters seem to point to that. All these people with published works and published books and that made a living teaching, talking, communicating, they all seem to point to that. Very important. So that's what I'm thinking about today. I got to fucking move ass and get up out of here. Shoulder day today. Get in the gym, throw some weight around, son. Make your life better. Fucking A. Anyway, I'm out of here. Nikki B. Hannas, Nikki B. Hannas, Heavy Blues Metal, NikkiBHannas.com, NikkiBHannas.bandcamp.com, Nikki B. Hannas on all streaming services. Good morning, B. Hannas. This is my little talk show in the mornings. On YouTube, BS with B. Hannas, Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcast. Here's my song, Crawling Out of Hell. That's what we're doing. Peace.